Alright, so in this video I'm going to show you the other method that I used to promote the affiliate offer outside of my list. So if you do not have a list, take note here. What I did was I promoted the bonus offer that I had, and I promoted that. I used that bonus offer and I put up a wire special offer to promote that. And for those of you who don't know, the wireforum.com is an internet marketing forum, and wire special offers are special offers that are placed by members of that offer. And the great thing about wire special offers is that they are viewed by people that are hungry for information and actively looking for information. So the quality of these leads is pretty high. Alright, so what I did was I put in a special offer. The cost at the time was, I believe, $20. They are constantly changing the price, so make sure you check the price before you post up an offer. And they are also constantly changing the rules. So, for example, certain types of offers are no longer allowed on in the wire special offers section, and so sometimes you might have to place it in another section, such as the Warrior Forum classified ads section. But here's a look at the Warrior special offer that I placed. Just advertised the bonus offer that I had, and I just copied and pasted um, my bonus page onto here. As you can see, it's got the video, the same headline, and so on. Alright, so in the next two videos, I'm going to show you a couple of methods that I use to promote ClickFunnels. And so this is great for those of you who do not have a list yet, because what I did was I went outside of my list and promoted this. And so the first method I'm going to talk about is banner ads. And so what I did was I purchased a banner ad space on the warriorforum.com. Okay, so I tested quite a few banner ads, and just to let you know, the cost of setting up a banner ad is $100 per day. All right, so if you have a high ticket affiliate product that you're promoting, then it is worth it to try out some banner ads and to put out that kind of money for banner ads. All right, so just to give you an example, well, first of all, the types of banner ads I did, one or two of them I believe I used to promote the bonuses that I was offering. Some of them were just to promote directly the product or a video that they had at that moment. So what I did was I would put up a banner ad here and I would link it. Actually, I wouldn't link it to the main offer, I would link it to a blog post. So for example, I'm going to show you a banner ad that I did have. It's no longer here, but a banner ad that I did have up here is this one right here. It says click here to see the anatomy of a $500,000 per month funnel. Okay, because when you're promoting ClickFunnels, they actually have several pages that you can promote. There's a main sales page, and there's also some training videos. So this is what I was promoting here for this particular banner ad is the training page, or the page where they had a video showing the anatomy of a $500,000 per month funnel. But instead of linking it directly to that page, I actually linked it to my blog post in which I talked about that training. And so let me just show you that blog post here. Here you go. Here's my blog post in which I talk about that training. And then on that blog post is a link to that training. Alright, welcome back. So from here on, I'm going to show you the steps that I took to promote the affiliate product. And one of the first things I did was come up with some bonuses to offer to people when they sign up through my link. And it goes without saying that the bonuses you offer should be relevant to the main offer, and also high quality. Okay, so once I came up with the bonuses, I created a bonus page. Well, what I call this page is a pre-sale page, because I wasn't only promoting the bonuses, but I was also promoting the main offer. And this page, I created this and I promoted it to my list a few days before the launch of the product. Okay, so to get them excited and to get them drooling and to have them anticipate the opening of this product. So as you see here, I put up a headline, and I also just took the video that was on the ClickFunnels sales page. They have several sales pages, so this was one of the videos on one of their sales pages. Okay, and then I just put a quick intro here, as you can see, and I listed my bonuses, and here's the link, and I also put some benefits of the product down here, and they're simple as that. Welcome to this course in which I'm going to show you how I generated 4 figures promoting an affiliate product to a tiny list. Okay, so the important key here is that the affiliate offer that I was promoting has some high ticket sales. For example, you could generate $400 commissions from this product that I've been promoting, and this product that I promoted is what you're looking at right here, is ClickFunnels.com. Okay, and they offer a variety of commissions. They offer recurring monthly commissions ranging from, I believe, $15 to $90 or $100 per month, and you could also generate $400 commissions and probably even higher. Okay, and so basically, if you want to start promoting this product, you could just go to ClickFunnels.com. I believe you can get a free account here. It could be a 14-day trial. I'm not sure. I can't remember, but if you can't find the link here, I have provided a text document that has a link to their affiliate sign-up page. All right, and so what we're going to do now in the next video, I'm just going to show you the steps that I took to promote this product to my tiny list.
In this video, we are going to go ahead and get a domain for our site. Now, we should have already done our keyword research, so we know what keywords we're going after. And now we're going to try to get a domain with those keywords. So for me personally, I like to use Namecheap.com. I've used a ton of registrars in the past. Used to use GoDaddy mostly, but I've had some issues with them, so I've kind of moved away from them. And now I use Namecheap exclusively. So if you want to follow along exactly, you can use Namecheap as well. Otherwise, whichever one you are familiar with. Now, when I did my keyword research, if you remember in the previous video, the 2 terms that I wanted to target were sleeping bag reviews and best sleeping bag. I had 2 secondary terms as well. They're just variations, sleeping bags review and best sleeping bags. So basically just an S on bag. So if I can't find a domain with the top 2, I can always use those. So ideally, the best domain for me would be best sleeping bag reviews, because it uses both keywords. I'm going to have exact match on both of those keywords if I can get that domain. Again, because I'll have best sleeping bag and then I'll have sleeping bag reviews all in there. If I can't get any of those, I can move on to my secondary terms. So let me try best sleeping bag reviews, and I'll see if that is available. And I'm in luck. It actually is best sleeping bag reviews. Now, if I'm just going to star that one because that's probably the one I want to use. Let's say that wasn't available. Well, then I could try best, what did I have? Best sleeping bags review. And that one's actually taken. I also could do just review, take the S off there. And now you can see that one's available too. So what you want to do, ideally you want to get both of the, well, if you're going after 2 terms, you want to try to get both of those terms in the domain. It's going to give you a little boost SEO wise. It's just nice to do. If you can only get 1 term, get that. But for this specific example, I'm going to be reviewing sleeping bag. So having sleeping bag reviews in the domain is probably my number one, the number one thing I want to get in there. Now, I just so happens I could get them both, best sleeping bag reviews. So that worked out perfect. I would urge you to get a .com. I know .coms are getting harder and harder to get, but from the sites I've created, .com still perform the best. A .net is also an option. I don't like to put a lot of hyphens in the domain, but if you're short on available domains, you can do that. But ideally, if you can get your keywords in your domain with a .com, that's the route I would go. So for this example, it just so happens that Best Sleeping Bag Reviews was available, which works out perfect for this. So go ahead and find a domain. Again, try to get a .com. Try to stay away from hyphens and try to get your main keyword in there. So if you have to put a secondary term in there, you can do that as well. Whether it be sleeping bag reviews online or like for example, best having to work out good, best sleeping bag reviews, or I could possibly do top sleeping bag reviews. Any kind of modifier you need to put in there, that's fine as well. I would just urge you to try to get your main keyword in the domain and get a .com without having to use hyphens. So I got bestsleepingbagreviews.com. That's perfect. I'm going to go ahead and buy that. And then from there, you just want to hook up your domain to your hosting account and then install WordPress. Now, if you're unfamiliar with those steps, I would recommend one of two things. Either you go to YouTube and look on there, or you simply look for a help section on your hosting account. There's so many different hosting accounts. I don't know which one everyone's using. So the easiest way is to check with your hosting account how to add a domain or WordPress, or just simply to look on YouTube. Once you have that done, we can move on to the next step. Now in this video, we are going to dig into keyword research. So at this point, you should have a handful of product ideas to go after. And now we actually need to go do some niche research to figure out which ones are viable ideas. For niche research, or for keyword research, I always use a tool called Market Samurai. In my opinion, I've used a ton of them out there. This is always the best one because of all the different features they have. They do offer a free trial. So even if you don't want to go ahead and buy it, because I believe, let me click on the full version here. It looks like it is $150. So, it does cost some money. In my mind, it's just a necessary tool to have for any online marketer. But that being said, I know if you don't want to pay the $150, they do have a free trial version. So you can go ahead and download the free trial version. Won't cost you a penny. And then you can at least do your keyword research and have that done. And then if you want to, buy the full version, that's up to you. So I'm just going to open up Market Samurai here. And I'm going to create a new project. And I'm going to do sleeping bag. And then I will simply create that project. And from here, if I slide this over, you can see you have a bunch of different options. We're going to go ahead and do keyword research. And from here, we are simply going to go ahead for phrase length. I like to have, just a one keyword phrase usually isn't going to be a viable option. So I'll at least put it to 2. You could probably even do 3, but we'll leave it at that. I'm going to leave the max at 10. So no keyword longer than 10 words. It's not really going to find those anyways. And I'm going to go ahead and generate keywords. And this will take a couple moments here, so I'll just pause the video while that works through. All right, so Market Samurai has brought back 780 different keywords. One thing I will point out here is the keyword source is the Google keyword tool. So you don't need to go ahead and use that because this will actually incorporate it right in. To get a lot of the features, you will need an AdWords account. So whatever your, just if you don't have a Google AdWords account, you just get a Gmail address and then go ahead and sign up for AdWords. You don't actually have to spend any money. AdWords just needs to be active on that email address. So you will want to go ahead and do that because that'll bring back more data. So you can see I have a whole bunch of terms here. So now what we're going to do is go to keyword analysis. And this is going to give us, of course, our traffic. This is phrase to broad, not something I'm really interested at the moment. Let me slide this over. So what I want is I want total searches. You can leave SEO traffic. That'll estimate how much traffic you would get if you were ranked number 1. I don't really want phrase to broad. Trends can be nice because you can see if trends on this peaks during different times of the year. I personally is not real interested. We're not going to be buying any AdWords, so I'm going to leave all of those blank. But we do want the title competition, because this will show which people are actually using that keyword in their title tag, which gives you a little better representation of how much competition it will be. You can do the title to competition. It's just a ratio of those two. So again, if you get a low score there, it'll give you a good idea that there's weak competition. Excuse me. I don't really need any commercial intent, anything like that. So those are what I do. I do total searches, SEO traffic. Then we want SEO competition, title competition, and the title divided by competition. One other thing, I like to do monthly, so I have a good idea of how much traffic that keyword will get per month. And then we also don't want broad, because broad will bring you back inflated results. So you want to do phrase or exact. I'll usually do exact because that's going to give you the lowest possible number. So I don't want to overestimate on how much traffic I could be getting. So I put that at exact. Phrase is also a good idea because when we do our link building, I don't want to jump too far ahead, but we're going to be varying the terms we use. So phrase is a good indication too, but I'm going to leave it at exact, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit analyze keywords, and I'll pause that again because it's going to take a little time. Okay, so it's done bringing that information back. So now we can see we have the SEO competition, and that's just the total number of web pages globally that mention that keyword term. And they mention that keyword term anywhere on their page. So that's, it's a good number to have because it can show you stuff that no one's even talking about, like the 1.5 TOG baby sleeping bag. Barely anybody is talking about that, and it doesn't get much traffic, so that's probably why. So what we want to do from here is let's sort this by searches. So if I just click on searches, and you're going to see, because it brought back so many terms, we're going to have a lot of unrelated terms in here, like camping equipment, camping gear. But now we just want to start looking at possible keywords that could make for a good market to go after. So baby sleeping bags, that's kind of niched down. I never really thought of that myself. And then we can go ahead and check the title tag competition. And this is going to be a better indication of how much competition this is. So this is how many web pages out there are using the term baby sleeping bags in their title tag. Now, with SEO, putting the keyword in your title tag is a very important factor. So that shows how many web pages out there are really going after that term. So for this, it's 163,000, which is a fairly large amount. And then we have baby sleeping, then we have kids sleeping bags. Let's check that one. And for kids sleeping bags, you can tell right there, that's a good indication. For kids sleeping bags, there's 11 million different websites with that in their title tag, compared to baby sleeping bags, which only has 163,000. So, this one has 100 times the amount of competition, if my math is correct. I think it is, yeah. So there's 100 times more competition for kids sleeping bags, but look at the traffic. They're the same. They're both 8,100 searches per month, and that's on exact. So that, baby sleeping bags right now looks like a great term to possibly go after. We have baby sleeping bag, so that has no plural on it. So let me check that one. And that one's got a little more competition and less traffic. So again, baby sleeping bags is still looking like a pretty good one. Let's keep looking. We have a double sleeping bag. Very low amount of competition, and only 40,000 websites are using that. So another very good one. Let's keep looking here. sleeping bag reviews. Let's check that one out. Only 23,000 websites are using that in their title tag. Now that's the exact kind of term I'm looking for, because if I'm going to go out and make a website reviewing sleeping bags, the main term I'm probably going to go after is sleeping bag reviews. Now, if someone is going online and typing in sleeping bag reviews, they're far into the buying process. They're not just looking for information. They're not just browsing. They're looking for reviews. They want to know which one they should buy. So that right there is a perfect term to go after. We have down sleeping bags, kids sleeping bag. Let's check that one out. 44,000. Toddler sleeping bag, only 10,000. Best sleeping bag. So people wondering, what's the best sleeping bag? Let me check that one. And that's only got 10,000, which is very low. We have cheap sleeping bags. We can check that one. Only 7,000. So I can tell already just by looking at these that there's a lot of low competition terms that are still getting fairly good traffic. 1,000 searches a month on exact search is pretty good. It's not going to be a killer market that's going to make you a ton of money, but it's the perfect place to get started because it has such low competition. So let's browse a little farther. What else do we got here? Best sleeping bags. Again, that's another good one. Only 29,000 going after that. And then we start getting some product names like the Big Agnes sleeping bag. I'm not sure what that is, but probably a product. So that's going to be a product we would think about reviewing. Here's another double sleeping bag. Again, pretty low. Star Wars sleeping bag. Who doesn't want one of those? Here's another Vango sleeping bags, another product brand, very low competition. So I'm seeing a couple of things here. One, I'm seeing that this is a very good market. Number two, I'm already seeing that the main terms I might go after, like sleeping bag reviews and best sleeping bags, have a decent amount of traffic and very low competition. So that's another bonus. And I'm also seeing some secondary markets. Like here again is 2-person sleeping bag, and that's actually got a ton of competition. So that's a great example of a market that you want to avoid. It's only got 880 searches and 11 million different websites mentioning that. We got backpack sleeping bags. Let's take a look at that. 8,000, very small again. The plural, 39,000. Here's a dog sleeping bag. We have a dog, and there's no way I could get him to ever sleep in a sleeping bag. Hello Kitty sleeping bag. My daughter would love that. 0 degree sleeping bag. Now I saw a lot of those on Amazon, and that's got some pretty decent competition. Here's more baby sleeping bags, baby sleep bag. And actually, I have kids. I don't think that's actually a sleeping bag. It's a little fleece thing you put them in when they go to sleep. We use those. We call it a sleep sack, if anybody's interested. But I think you get the point here. That's kind of how we do our market research. So I'm going to scroll back up to the top. And right now I can already see this is a great market. Some things I'll point out. Searches, you want to have at least a couple thousand. 1,000 exact searches is decent. You're going to be able to get some traffic off of that. Not a ton, as opposed to a market that had 50,000 searches a month. But for just an example, we checked that competition. And you can see 3 million. So the competition is very high. So for me personally, for this example, I am very happy that I see, where was it here? Best sleeping bag, only 10,000 people using that in their title tag. And then there was a review somewhere here. If I can find it. Sleeping bag reviews, 23,000. So those are probably two great terms that I'll target with my homepage. sleeping bag reviews and best sleeping bag. You want to look for an SEO title tag competition. I would say under 100,000, and if you can get down below 50,000 and even these 20,000, that's a very realistic term to go after and get traffic for. Again, pretty good traffic. One last step you can take is you can see actually how hard it'll be to rank for that term. If I click on the key, it's going to open up a new tab. Let me scroll this down. You see it opened up a new tab here. So now it's going to isolate that word. And now I can check out the SEO competition for that keyword. I will generate the results. I'll pause it. This will take a minute. And this will show you who is ranking currently for that keyword. Let me stretch this out so we can. So number one is sleeping bag reviews. So obviously somebody with the same idea that I have. But then what we can do is we can look at how well they're optimized. So their page rank is 0. That's a good sign. They have 140 pages indexed. That's pretty good. We have the backlinks to the page. So how many backlinks they have? They have 554, which is, a fairly good amount. And they have 800 backlinks to their domain. They're not in DMOZ, they're not in Yahoo, but they are using sleeping bag reviews in their title tag, their URL, their description, and their heads. They're pretty well optimized. If you see a lot of green on this page, that'll tell you that it's a term you can rank for more easily. If you see a lot of red, that's not quite as good. That's going to show you that there's a lot of competition. But for me personally, when I see the top site is a page rank 0 and the second one is a page rank 2, that's not too tough to go out and tackle. And the third one is a page rank 5, but they're not even using sleeping bag reviews in their title, in their URL, in their description, or their head. So they're not. I wouldn't say that they're actively targeting that keyword. So to me, sleeping bag reviews still looks like a good keyword because I'm pretty confident I can get that onto the first page. And my other one was best sleeping bag. Let me bring that one up. Again, I just hit the little key. That opens up a new tab. I'll do some SEO competition. And I will generate those results. And now we can say, looks like number one is REI, which is a big, outdoor supplier. But again, when I look over here, they're not using sleeping or best sleeping bag in their title, in their URL, or their description. So I wouldn't say they're actively going after that keyword. Not really, maybe one of these that's overstock. This one is the best sleeping bag. So they are actively going after it. They, put that in their title. They put it in their URL. So they're actively going after it. They got 377 backlinks, which is a pretty good amount. But again, a lot of the main people on the front page aren't actively going after best sleeping bag review. They're just showing up because, they have a ton of links to their overall website. REI has 4 million backlinks to their site, not to that page, just their sites. They're just ranking strictly on that. They're not necessarily optimizing it for that. So that pretty much covers keyword research. Again, you want to start looking for some low competition keywords. Let's say my initial idea was kids sleeping bags. Let me bring this back over here. So let's say my initial idea was kids sleeping bags. And I go ahead and bring that up, and there's 11 million websites using that in their title tag. Right there, I'll just cross that one off the list. Too much competition. Let's say my initial idea was Coleman sleeping bags. Let's say I was just going to review Coleman sleeping bags. Actually, not a lot of competition on that either. But again, with Coleman sleeping bags, you're going to have a problem ranking for that because Coleman is obviously going to be number one. So again, look for keywords that have a fair amount of searches. I would say between a couple thousand is a good place to start. The more you can get, the better. You want to have a low SEO title tag competition because that's people actively going after those keywords. And again, for my example, both of those have low. We have sleeping bag reviews 23,000, and we have the best sleeping bags, which was 10,000. So that right there meets the criteria. I did a little more in-depth research by looking at the actual SEO. It looks fairly doable. So for me, I have a good market to go after. I'm going to go after best sleeping bags and sleeping bag reviews. And a secondary thing I might take note of was the double sleeping bag. Maybe I could do a site on just reviewing the top double sleeping bags. Not a lot of, overall not a lot of competition there. So go through your keywords. If the first one is a dud, for example, like I said, my first idea was kids sleeping bags, 11 million competing websites, scratch it off, move on to the next one. And again, if you had 5 to 10 ideas, it's going to take some time, I realize that, but try going through them all and finding the best one with the most traffic and the least competition, because it's going to make it easier for you all the way. And that is a pretty good overview of keyword research. This is the type of stuff you should be doing for any website you go out to make. Checking the searches, seeing what the competition is, and then seeing if they're actively going after that keyword and if you can rank for it. So you got a little bit of work ahead of you. Go ahead and go through your keywords and try to find that winner, and then we'll move on with building the site. Well, welcome to the video series on creating niche review websites. And these can also be just niche content websites. You don't necessarily have to review things. I've always found that works best and makes you the most money. The thing I love about this method is it's completely hands-off. You don't have any customers, you don't have any support. It's basically just creating websites, getting them ranked, and then kind of collecting money on autopilot, whether it be from Amazon, AdSense, or any other affiliate program. They're a great way to get started. They're very easy to set up. I'm going to walk you through the entire process. And I've been using them for years, and they create a great passive income. A lot of them, depending on which type of market you do them on, can continue to make you money months after months, years after years. So with niche review websites, we're basically going to want to monetize them by using either the AdSense, Google AdSense, which is very easy. Or lately I've really liked using the Amazon affiliate program. And the reason I do like that so much is because, well, for one, Amazon is huge. They have so many different products. Everybody knows Amazon. They trust Amazon. I don't know anybody who has any, thinks it's risky, to order off Amazon. They're just so big, such a household name. They convert very, very well. And the thing I love about them the most is no matter what type of product you promote on Amazon, you'll get paid on anything that customer buys. Now there is, a window they have to buy within, but you can be advertising one thing and they can buy something completely different and you still get a commission. And because Amazon sells just about, everything under the moon, it's a great way to make a nice affiliate income by using Amazon. You can also use affiliate programs like Commission Junction. I use them a lot. And ShareASale, ShareASale.com is another great one that I've used a lot. They have a lot more, kind of like niche programs. They don't have a lot of the huge advertisers like Commission Junction. Commission Junction has a ton of the big, well-known advertisers, where ShareASale has a lot more of, kind of niche websites, which are great because they can be easier to rank for because they're in small markets. So that's how we're going to monetize them. What we're going to do is, of course, we're going to build a site with WordPress, and then we're going to look for low competition terms that we can go after to easily rank for. And of course, ranking high is how we're going to get our traffic, ranking high on the search engine. So again, we're going to look for several types of products. Then we're going to look for low competition terms that we can rank for. And on the sites, I recommend that you review the best-selling products in that category. You can make a straight content website. There's nothing wrong with that. That just supplies information and you only make money with AdSense. But I like to find a product category and then review the best-selling products in that category. And then, of course, promote those products on Amazon. Because again, Amazon sells just about everything. And when we do our research, we're going to choose several different products because first we need to find some products or markets we could go after, but then we actually need to go do the keyword research to make sure they have low competition and it's going to be easy to rank for. We don't want to go into huge markets where it's going to be, so much work to try to rank for. We want to go ahead and pick out several different products, and then we're going to go do keyword research in a following video. So let me just jump over to Amazon. So to get started, let me just center this over here a little bit. First, we need to find some products to promote. So over here you have all their different categories. So just simply pick something you're interested in or just something random. I'm going to go ahead and look at, I like sports. I'm going to look at, how about outdoor recreation? And you can see some of their top products. They have sleeping bags, snow gear, water bottles, knives, tents, backpacks, some head flashlights, binoculars. Again, you just want to start looking for products you think you could promote. I think sleeping bags would be a pretty low competition market. One thing I would avoid is going after huge markets. So I don't want to make a site that reviews iPods or iPads or Kindles, or even TVs. That's a pretty popular category. So you want to look for something kind of a little off the radar. So for example, tents would be a great off the radar thing. Sleeping bags, I think, is pretty off the radar. The second thing you want to think about is, are people willing to buy this online? So a sleeping bag, pretty easy to ship. I think that's fair to say people would want to buy that online. Same with a backpack. Same with a tent. Tents are big when they're open, but when they're folded up, they're fairly small. For example, a kayak. I personally don't think a lot of people go online to actually buy a kayak. I could be wrong. I've never bought one, but they're pretty big. I would assume shipping expenses can get rather expensive. So in my opinion, I think people go online to research kayaks, and then they go to their local sporting store and buy it there. So kayaks is still a viable category. We're going to review, products, but on that kind of site, we would probably want to focus on AdSense because people are on there just looking for more information. So AdSense would be a great monetization for that. Binoculars, fair to say people would buy that online. So again, now you want to be jotting down, any ideas you're coming across. So I would jot down sleeping bags, tents, backpacks. I could jot that down. This is actually a $50 backpack. You don't want to sell stuff that's a couple bucks. So a water bottle, they're probably going to be $5, $10. You're not going to get very much commission on that. So you want it to be, somewhat expensive to boost your commissions. So I think sleeping bags is a great one. Tents is another great one. Backpacks, even though this is a $55 backpack, I think I would skip that. Snow gear might be one. Let me click on that and kind of see what else. Skis, snowboards, snowshoes would be something I think people would buy online. They're probably pretty expensive. Helmets, that could be another great category. So again, I just want to be jotting these down. Let's look at sleeping bags again. And actually some of these sleeping bags are pretty cheap. $25. Here's a $50 one. I'm kind of, when I was thinking sleeping bags in my head, I was thinking of sleeping bags, like this one, a 0 degree mummy bag. So a sleeping bag where you're going to go somewhere and it's really, really cold. So I think that's a great category as well. Another thing you can do, let me go back to sports and outdoors. Actually, let me jump back to the homepage. Let's say let's go to golf. I'm actually a pretty avid golfer. I don't buy a lot of my golf clubs online. I go to the local golf store. Golf balls, possibly. Again, that's going to be a pretty competitive market. So just right here, I'm not seeing a lot of golf items that could be good. What else do we have here in sports? Again, helmets I think could be a pretty good one. Go-karts, probably not a lot of people buying those online. I could be wrong. So again, that's basically the gist of it. There's nothing special or nothing advanced about this. We're just going to go on Amazon and look for popular products. Anytime you want to go back and change the category, let's look at home and garden. How about patio, lawn, and garden. And another thing you can do is up here you can see best sellers, so I can click on that. That's going to show me the best sellers in patio, lawn, and gardens. Again, we want products that people are actively looking for and buying. So looking at the best seller list is a great place to get some ideas as well. What do we have here? A wireless barbecue thermometer. Now that's pretty cool. And that would be a pretty under the radar niche. I don't know how much demand there is for that, but that's a pretty cool idea. We got some grill covers. So these are the best sellers. Nothing here is really jumping out at me. A lot of grill covers, a lot of just like insect repellents, light bulbs. I'm not seeing anything too promising in that one. We can go to baby. That's a popular one. Strollers. We can look at best sellers again here. And here we're just popping up a lot of toys. But I think you get the idea. We don't need to do this forever here. But again, just go to Amazon, look at some different categories, a category you may be interested in, or even a category you're not. Look for products. Again, you want to find a product that is going to have several options, so you can have something to review. So for example, a Kindle, you can review the Kindle Touch, and the Kindle Fire, but it's not going to give you a lot of opportunity to review different products and rank them. So again, sleeping bags I think is a great example, because there's going to be a lot of different choices of sleeping bags people can buy. There's a lot of different choices of skiing helmets people can buy, a lot of different choices on tents people can buy. So again, jot down several ideas. I probably want to make a list of 5 to 10, because then we're going to go and do keyword research and look for which ones have the best opportunity to be able to rank for. So again, that's it for this video. That is just gathering your initial ideas, your initial data. And now in the next video, we're going to take it a step further and start actually looking at the keyword research and seeing which topics are good ones to go after. So now that we have our homepage set up, now we want to start writing some individual reviews on specific products. The reason we do this is, one, we don't just want a one-page website. Google likes a larger website with more content. And two, by writing individual reviews on individual products, it just gives us that many more opportunities to get more traffic from the search engines. You can start ranking for individual products. And if someone is looking for a review on a specific product, they're pretty far into the buying cycle. And there's a good chance that after reading your review, they could click your link and go buy that product. So the first thing we need to do is you can either write these reviews yourself, or you can have someone else do them for you. Now, if you're just starting out and you don't want to spend any money, feel free to go ahead and write them yourself. But if you're like me, I just do not like writing content. So I always outsource it, and I'm going to show you in a second here how you can have it outsourced for extremely cheap, to the point where it's almost crazy to be writing it yourself. But the review format I like to use goes like this. The review will simply start out with an overview of the product. Then I'll list out the top 5 or so features of the product, and then I'll list the pros and the cons. Now, a lot of you might say, well, why would you list the cons when you're trying to get them to actually go buy this product? Well, first off, people want an honest review. If the entire review is just completely glowing and you don't point out one negative thing, it obviously looks not like an honest review. So I like to list some cons, and they might not be that big of a deal, but just some negative points of it, something it may not have, what have you. I'll usually definitely list a lot more pros than cons, but we do want to have a nice honest review, and then I'll give my rating of it. So whether it's 4 out of 5 or 3 out of 5 or what have you, because people are going to come to your site to look for these reviews. If you review a product that just isn't good and it gets a ton of negative reviews, you can write a non glowing review and give it a 2 out of 5. And what people will do, well, they'll start looking at other reviews on your site to find one that does meet what they're looking for. So you can review products that you don't like. It just makes for a nice nice, honest, and non-biased looking site. So that's the format I use: an overview, then I list the features, and I go into the pros and cons, and then I give a rating. You don't have to follow that. That's just the overview that works well for me, and kind of what I use. So now, if you're going to write them yourself, go ahead and write them yourself. But I use several different places to get my content writing. The one I use the most right now is a site called iWriter.com. And what it is you basically go in and post a project, and then you have writers basically write that article for you, and then you get to look at it and either accept it or decline it. So I'll go in and say I need 5 product reviews, and I'll list the products, and then I just hit submit, and then I'll have writers submitting product reviews to me. But before I actually pay for them, I get to look at them, review them, and if I don't like it, I just reject it, and then it goes back out in the queue and someone else can write for it. So you never pay until you actually get the article that you're happy with, which is what I love about this service. On the flip side, another site I use a lot is Fiverr.com. And same deal here. You basically look for somebody to write the articles for you, but the problem with Fiverr is if they write an article, and it's crap, you cannot accept it. And then, Fiverr, I've actually never done it. So I think Fiverr just gives you your money back because you're not actually paying this person, you're paying Fiverr, and then Fiverr pays them. But on Fiverr, I'll just walk you through it quick in case you do want to use this. I use Fiverr for a ton of stuff, but writing product reviews just isn't one I do much anymore. So I could type in product reviews, and this is probably going to be about people wanting to review my products. Here's one exactly. I'll write a unique 300-word product review of an Amazon product or any product for $5. Here's another Amazon review for $5. What you want to do on Fiverr is, let's say I think this is a good one. So I click on it and I wait for it to load. And then what you want to look at is their gig rating. So anytime somebody buys this gig, they get to rate it. So if I scroll down, you can see there's 48 positive reviews and 3 negative. So that's pretty good. And you can also write what people wrote about it. You can also see how long it'll take for them to deliver it. This is 3 days, and they have no orders in the queue. Let's take a look at this one. This one has 65 positive reviews and 0 negative reviews, and 18 people starred it. So basically, you can star it to kind of bookmark it for yourself. So that usually means people are happy with it. This is 4 days. Again, 100% gig rating. So what you want to always do on Fiverr is look at the gig ratings, because that's basically how Fiverr polices itself. Is if you buy something and it's crap, you give a negative review, and if enough people give a negative review, you're going to have a bad gig rating, and everyone can see, basically not to use that gig. So that's how you use Fiverr. You just order now, and then tell them what product you wanted them to review. Real easy to use. The only reason I don't usually use it for product reviews is because, I like my product reviews to be very well written and formatted the way I want. A lot of times with, a Fiverr gig, you can't tell them how you want it formatted. They're just going to write you the article. And also with iWriter, I get to read it and either reject it or accept it. And the other big thing is you will see when I log into iWriter, it's actually going to be cheaper than $5. So Fiverr is a little more expensive. But so you have the option of Fiverr. Again, I like to use iWriter, so I'm just going to log in here. So on the inside here, once you just create an account, it's completely free. There's no cost to you. What you can do is you can request articles to be written. So I'm going to do that. And then for the project description, I'm going to put product reviews, category, it's sleeping bags, but I'm actually going to use shopping and product reviews. Article length, you get to choose how long you want the article to be. For me personally, 300 words is usually enough. A lot of people will tell you for SEO, a longer article is better. it's just kind of hard to write 500 words on a single product. So that's really up to you. The more content you have on the page, obviously Google's going to like that a little more. But for me, I've found 300 word reviews work just fine. I've even used shorter ones that worked fine. And for me, 500 words just is kind of an excessive amount. So I'm going to do 300. I'm going to let all writers see my request. You can do premium, so only 4 to 5 star writers see your request. Again, iWriter kind of polices itself. After you get an article written, you get to rate that writer between 1 and 5 stars. But you'll see at 300 words, it's going to cost me $2 an article. So it's so cheap. I just don't write my content anymore. There's no reason to, and it's cheaper than Fiverr as well. If I go to premium, so only the top people are going to get it, it's $4 an article. I just don't do that because I get, using all writers, I get very good articles. And again, if I get crap, I can just reject it and it goes back out into the queue. So now I need to give them my keywords or what I want them to write the articles on. The way I'm going to do that is I go back to Amazon. And again, I'm at the best sellers in camping and sleeping bags. So I'm just going to get reviews on the top. You could do the top 10, top 5. Just for this sake right here, I'm just going to do the top 5. So I'll just simply copy these in. I don't need the assorted colors in there. Then I'll get the next one. Let me stretch this out so not running onto each other. And then I'll get number 3 here. And I'll get number 4. And again, I don't need this dimensions in there. They don't need to really be reviewing that. And then I'll grab the 5th one here. So again, I'm just telling them what I want the reviews on. I'll just do the top 6. You want to make sure you're getting reviews on the products you listed on your homepage. So those top 3, make sure you get reviews on those. So you can see now I did 5 of them. I think I actually did 6. Didn't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's telling me $10. It should be 12, but I'm sure it'll correct itself. So again, you just enter in, the products you want reviewed. And again, I'm just going to do the Amazon bestsellers because those are the most popular ones. The ones people are actually out there buying. Friendly tone, I'm going to do more of a professional tone because I've done friendly tone. I don't like usually how people write that. Article purpose, I'm going to say review of products. And then special instructions. So I'm going to tell them, let me just write in here quick so you don't have to watch. Okay, so I just gave them some instructions here and I just said, I would like the reviews to follow this format. Start with an overview of the product, then list the features, then list the pros and cons of the product. So again, I want the article written in a certain way, and I can do that on iWriter. I can give them exactly the format. So up here, I'm just going to put Amazon. I'm going to change this to Amazon product reviews, just so they know they can go get information on each product from Amazon. That's all there is to it. So I have product reviews, shopping and product reviews, 300 word articles. I listed my 6 articles, so it's going to cost me $12. So again, to basically fill my site with content, it's going to cost me $12. And one thing I will point out is I'm just going to do 6 to start out with. Basically you want to just keep adding new reviews to your site, every couple of days. Google loves to see a site that continues to grow. So I'm going to start with 6. And, once I have those all posted and published, I can always come back and get more. And then I am just going to, let me scroll this up here. You just hit submit project. And it's just telling me that, when an article is written, I have 48 hours. That's one thing I actually should point out. If you're going to use iWriter, when somebody submits an article for you to review, you have 48 hours to review it. If you don't review it in those 48 hours, it automatically gets approved. So you might end up getting some crap if if you aren't, on top of this. So again, you have 48 hours to review each article, and that's when you can accept or decline. Did that go through? Okay. And for some reason, there it goes. So there again, I have my product reviews. And if I scroll that down, you can see each has them all listed. And of course, nobody's written them yet. So from there, I'll just wait to get these submitted, and then I'll show you how to post them to your site. Again, you can write these yourself. If you're going to write them yourself, just move on to the next video. But again, I got 12 product reviews written for $2 each. So for me, it's just no use for me to write them myself. So I recommend iWriter. You can also use Fiverr, or if you have your own person you like to go to for articles, use them as well. But in the next video now, we'll start adding these to our site. Now that we have our homepage completed with our top 3 reviews, we need to go ahead and add in some affiliate links. Now, if you're doing the Amazon, which I'm doing on mine and I would recommend, I'll show you how to simply do that. If you're using a different affiliate program, it's pretty much the same, just getting an affiliate link and popping it in. So if you're going to do Amazon, if you just go to Amazon's homepage, scroll all the way down to the bottom, you can see down here it says make money with us. So if you just click on become an affiliate, you can go ahead and basically sign up for their program. Just enter in all your details and you'll be able to create an account. Now I'm going to jump over to my account here, and the way to get your affiliate links once you've logged in is just go to links and banners and do product links, because we want to link to an exact product. So I'm going to go back to my site here. Let me shrink that down a little. And my first product is the Coleman Northridge Zero Mummy Bag. So I'm just going to copy that, head back over to Amazon here, and I'm going to search for that product. You can see there it is, the Coleman Northridge 0 Degree Mummy Bag. Let me slide this over. So now if I just hit get link, and now we will have several options here to get our affiliate link. Now the way I like to set this up is I use 3 different links. I'll use an image only, I'll use a text only, and I'll also use a text and image. So I'm going to get the image only first, because with any review it's nice to have an image of the product. So I just have the image here, and I'm just going to copy the affiliate code they give us, and I'm going to go back to the page here. Let me slide this over. And what we need to do is click up here, and we need to go to HTML, because we're going to be entering in a code. Now what I want to look for is the best extreme weather bag. So that's my heading on that category. I'm just going to hit enter to put in a space, and I'm just going to paste in the code for the image. So now I have an image. I'm going to go back over to Amazon here. Now I'm going to get the text only. So you see it's just a simple text link. I just hit text only. I'm going to copy that, head back over, and now directly after the image tag, I will now paste in the text link. And I'm going to go back to Amazon. Now I'm going to get the text and image, and this has a nice little, gives them the name, the price, has an image, and also a buy now from Amazon. So again, that's the text and image. I'm going to copy that, and now I'm going to put that at the end of my review. So right after the conclusion. So I'll hit enter, paste that in, hit enter again, and now I will update that, and we can take a look at what that looks like. Let me refresh the page. So you can see now we have best extreme weather sleeping bag. We have an image, and if I click that image, it'll go to Amazon to buy that product, and it'll be my affiliate link. I also have a link of it, and a lot of people will click this thinking they're going to go get more information on it on my site, and it's actually going to take them to the actual listing and give them more information. So, it's nice to have the actual text link there because that'll get clicked a lot. And then you can see we have our review, our conclusion, where we basically say it's a great sleeping bag, ideal for temperatures down to 0 degrees. And then they have a nice link to go purchase it. So if they like our review and they want to buy that one, they have the link there to go ahead and purchase it. And remember, anything they purchase, whether they purchase this sleeping bag or another one, we just basically want them to click a link, get to Amazon, and then buy pretty much anything. So I will go in and add all 3 of those, and then we'll see what it looks like. So again, I'm just basically going to repeat the process, and I'm going to go Coleman Green sleeping bag. Go back to Amazon here. If I scroll up to the top, I can just go back to the product link page. Paste that in, hit go. And there's my Coleman sleeping bag. And you can see it gives a sales rank. This one's actually in here twice, probably because another company is also selling it. Let me click on this. And you can see this one ships from Amazon. Now, in some cases, you'll get a higher commission percentage if they buy it directly from Amazon. I'm guessing if I click this other one, that is sold by the Great Outdoors Depot. So it's not actually sold from Amazon. Some products Amazon just doesn't sell themselves, so you'll have to do it that way. But again, I usually go with the one with the highest sales rank, and that's the one sold by Amazon. So again, I would just get link, get the image, and repeat the process. So let me fill those in quick. I don't need to bore you watching that. Okay, so I've just gone in and filled in all the affiliate links. You can see what it looks like now. We have the Best Extreme one. We have an image, a link, and the little buy button. Same for the cool weather one, and then also the Best Compact. Now, if you look at the Best Compact, see how the actual link ran on so long? I can actually change that if I want, if you run into this problem. From inside here, when I do my text only link, and you see the link text here, I can actually modify that to anything I want. So that's pretty long. Maybe I'll just take out the adventurer, just so the link isn't so long. You see that'll actually update it, so I'll just copy that, go back to the edit page, and I'll just edit that out. And now after I refresh the page, you can see it shortened it up so it fits all on one line. Now, one thing you will kind of notice is they all kind of run together. You can see it just goes from one to the next. We can put some space in there to kind of separate each review. I kind of just like to do that to make it easier to read. So an easy way to do that is if I come in here and you see here's the conclusion and then the link. So that's where the first one ends. If I just enter, I'll just hit enter. And if I put a little HR tag in there, it'll actually put a line in there, which will give it a nice little separation. You don't have to do this. Just something I personally like to do just to kind of separate each review. So it's a little easier for our potential viewers to kind of read. And then I'll just update that. And then we'll take a look at what that looks like. So now if you see at the end of each one, we have a line kind of signifying the end of that product. Then we have the next one and another line. It just kind of separates them out. Makes it a little easier to read. Not something you have to do. Just a little something I like to add in there. So with that, your home page is done. You can see we have a nice, very nice looking home page. We have the best sleeping bag reviews. Then I go in to review the top 3 choices based on camping conditions, because that's how I rated them. So we have the best extreme, the best cold weather, and the best compact sleeping bag. So that's going to be our money page. That's where we're going to try to get most of our affiliate commissions from. So you want that to look real nice, easy to read. We have nice little images, buy buttons, hyperlinks. So go ahead and add in your own Amazon affiliate links. This is the same process we're going to use when we make our post pages as well. So go ahead and finish that up, and then we can move on to the next video. Now, so at this point we have our site set up. So now we need to go ahead and make our home page, which is going to be a review of the top 3 or top 5 products in our market. Now this is going to be our money page. This is where we're going to make our affiliate commissions from. So we want to make sure we put a lot of effort into it, and this isn't content that you would want outsourced. You want to go ahead and write this yourself. Now, of course, let's just cover a couple quick on-page SEO topics. We will cover off-page SEO, backlinking in great detail later in the course. But now that we're going to start putting content on our site, I just want to review some on-page SEO. So first off, you want to make sure you're always using your keywords in your heading tags, and heading tags are just like your H1 tag. That's probably one of the most important aspects of on-page SEO, so we want to make sure we're always doing that. I'll show you how to do that in WordPress very easily. We also want to make sure we're using our keywords in the first and last paragraph. It seems to help with SEO. We don't want to be stuffing our keywords throughout the content a ton. You just want to write naturally, but you do want to make sure your main keywords are in the first and last paragraph. You also want to include variations of your main keyword. So my main keywords are best sleeping bags and sleeping bag reviews. So maybe I could put best sleeping bag, drop the S, or top sleeping bag, or best selling sleeping bag. Or I could also do sleeping bag ratings or sleeping bag comparison. Just variations of your main keyword to kind of mix them in there as well. Then you also want to make sure your keyword is in your title, description, and your keyword meta tags. And then you also want to use tags. We don't use those on a post, or I'm sorry, we don't use those on a page, but when we start adding posts, we will use tags. And putting your keyword in your title tag, that's just simply by naming that page with your main keyword. WordPress will automatically then put that in the title tag. And again, I'll show you an exact walkthrough as we get into it. So first off, we need to come up with the content for our front page. And what I like to do is just list the top 3 best-selling products in that category from Amazon. So I'm just here on Amazon, and if I go to, actually let me jump over here. If I go to their best sellers and I want to find sleeping bags, so I go to sports and outdoors, outdoor recreation, camping and hiking, and we have sleeping bags. So now, since I know absolutely nothing about sleeping bags, the easiest way for me to give the top 3 sleeping bags is just simply to use the top 3 best-selling sleeping bags on Amazon. Pretty simple. If they're the top selling bags on Amazon, which is the largest online retailer, chances are, they're the best. They're the most popular. And also, we want to make sure, we only make money if people click our links and buy something. So they're probably most likely to buy what everybody else is buying, because that obviously shows they're great sleeping bags. So I'm just going to list my top 3 sleeping bags based on the Amazon bestseller list. Now, a couple things to point out. With sleeping bags, they're all not really the same. I've kind of been doing a little research on them here. We have, like, for example, number 1 is the Adventurer Mummy Ultra Compact sleeping bag. So actually the reason this one is so popular is because it's very lightweight and very compactable. So it's great for people who are going on long hikes and don't want to carry a big, bulky sleeping bag. Then if we look at the Coleman Green Valley Cool Weather sleeping bag, that's a sleeping bag that's great for, not extreme weather. I think it's good for weather down to like 30 degrees. Where we also have, there's another one on here that I'm not seeing right now. There is like an extreme weather sleeping bag. So that's for people who are going to be in extreme temperatures down to like 0 degrees Fahrenheit. So for me, I'm going to rate the best the best one in each category. So I'll have, a compact category, a cool weather category, and extreme weather category. Another example might be, for example, if you're doing baby strollers, you could do the best baby stroller or the best jogging baby stroller, because a lot of people, will go jogging and push a stroller. Maybe the best walking stroller, things like that. Or if you just have a very general category where they all fall into the same kind of the same use, you can just list the top 3. So what I'm going to do now is jump back over to our demo site. So what we want to do, where we're going to put this content, is a page. So we want to go page, add new. And again, For your title, you want that to be your keyword because that's going to be your H1 tag. So I will put best sleeping bag reviews, because again, that is my main keyword. And then in here, you just simply, list out your top 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this in so you can kind of see what it looks like, and then I'll go from there. Okay, so I just filled in the content there. So again, what I basically did was just give a little introduction. So when it comes to finding the best sleeping bag, which is one of my keywords, then I just talk about there's some things to consider. Then I have best sleeping bag reviews. So again, I worked my 2 keywords in the beginning of the content, and then I say our top 3 choices based on camping conditions. So again, what I did was I did the best extreme weather sleeping bag, and I did the Coleman Northridge 0 degree mummy bag, because that one's good down to 0 degrees. And then again, I just basically outlined what's good about it, and then I gave a conclusion. And then I have the best cool weather sleeping bag, and that was that Coleman Green Valley cool weather sleeping bag. Again, I just listed some of the features, gave a conclusion. So this is ideal for the average camper who wants a comfortable, warm, and durable sleeping bag at a very reasonable price, because that was one of the cheaper ones as well. And then I have the best compact sleeping bag, and that was that Adventurer Mummy one. And then I gave a conclusion. Then at the end, again, I gave a little, just a little closing, and then I have best sleeping bag reviews. So I put my keywords at the end again as well. So that's all there really is to it. I just reviewed, the top 3 bags. I also put these little break lines in here to kind of break them up. If I go to HTML, you'll see that those are just simply an HR tag. So you just put, the HR tag in there, that puts a little line, kind of just breaks it up. So that's really all there is to adding the reviews. Now you'll see with the Headway SEO tag, you want to go ahead, you enter in your title, then you give it your description as well. So that has the SEO all built in. And then you'll just simply publish that. So that is published. Now, one thing we want to do is now if we go to settings and we go to reading, it says your front page displays your latest posts. We don't want that. We want the page we just made to be a static front page. So if we do a static front page, and then we just choose the page we just made, which is best sleeping bag reviews, and if I hit save, now that page we just made will be the front page of our website. So if I go back over to the site, you can see right now it's completely blank because we have no content. And now if I refresh it, you can see that it popped in the page we just made as our front page. So there we go. One other thing you're going to want to change is if you go to Headway and you go to Options, Headway has its own search engine optimization tab here. So if we click on search engine optimization, let me scroll this over just a tad, and you can see that we can change the SEO for different pages. Now if we go to front page, we want to go ahead and enter in our SEO stuff. Now again, it gave us the option of doing that on the actual page, which I showed you, but now that we made this our front page, we need to enter it in here. So again, I have my title, Best Sleeping Bag Reviews, and then I'll just put in a description real quick. So I just entered in a quick description. If you are considering purchasing a new sleeping bag, you want to make sure to come read our sleeping bag reviews to see which bags made our top 3. So again, I have my main keyword in here, sleeping bag reviews. And it entices readers to come through. If I'm in the market for a new sleeping bag and I read that description, I'm going to say, hey, yeah, I do want to see, which ones are their top 3s. And then we'll want to make sure and go down here and save changes. One other thing we can do right now is if we go to single post, we want to go ahead and remove site name from here. So it's just the title. Because in the future, when we make posts to this, we want to make sure the title is just, the title is just the title of the post. So again, you just go to post, just make it title, and I will save that as well. And again, you can see how easy Headway is to use here. They make everything so simple to use. So that's all there really is to that. That's about adding your content. Now in the next video, we'll talk about adding our Amazon affiliate links to the page. In this video, we're going to talk about customizing WordPress. WordPress is a great tool, but right out of the box, it does have some limitations and some things we need to change in order to set the site up exactly how we want. So let me just jump over to our demo site here, and again, it's the Best Sleeping Bag Reviews. Now, the first thing you're going to want to change is you're going to want to go to Settings, and then click on Permalinks, and you want to make sure you check off Post Name. So that way, anytime you write a new post, it'll be your domain name / and then the name of that post. And we're always going to name a post with our main keyword. So this way, we'll have our main keyword in the file name. The default WordPress format is just kind of like a P equals and some numbers. That's not very SEO friendly, so we do not want that. So when you first come in here, it'll probably be at default. You want to check post name and hit save. From there, we're going to want to change the appearance. Now, right out of the box, it's going to be the standard WordPress theme, which is 2011. It's not a bad theme, but it does have a lot of limitations, and it's not going to do exactly what we want it to do. So we do want to change the theme. Now, when we talk about changing the theme, I am going to recommend that you use a paid theme for a couple reasons. A paid theme is going to have a lot more options. Because it's a paid theme, you're always going to know that the developer is constantly going to be updating it to work with the latest versions of WordPress and add in any new features that are necessary. And overall, you're just going to have a lot more flexibility on how to make the site look. Now, the theme I'm going to recommend that everybody use is called Headway Theme. Now, this is a theme I use with all of my websites that I make now. What's great about it is it has all the options we need, and it's incredibly easy to use. To make adjustments to it, you don't have to go in and edit any of the WordPress files like with a lot of themes you have to do. It's simply a drag and drop editor, so it's just incredibly easy to use. I don't know if they have a demo. They don't really have pictures, but you'll see when I show you. You just simply kind of drag and move stuff around and make edits. Now, of course, it is a paid theme, so it does have a cost. It's $68, and that includes unlimited use and installations for life. So for a single payment of $68, you can use it on all of your WordPress sites going forward. Of course, with a course like this, just making one site promoting Amazon products isn't going to make you probably the amount of money you make. It can make you a nice little bit of money, but you're going to want to build several of these. So with Headway Theme, the one payment of $68 lets you use it on all of your sites. Now, I know a lot of people might not want to spend the $68. I'm not going to, of course, make you spend it, but this is what I'm going to be using. This is what I'm going to be using through the rest of the demo. And I would highly, highly recommend that you do get a copy. It's an amazing theme. It's constantly updated, has all the features we need, and it is incredibly easy to use. So if we jump back over here, if you really don't want to pay the $68, I can understand that. You will want to go ahead and change the theme you're using. You can use one of the standard WordPress ones, which are nice because they're always going to be updated. But again, they do have some limitations that I don't like about them. So you can go to install themes up here, and you can browse all of their free themes. If you're going to do that, I would go for a very plain one because we don't want a lot of unnecessary graphics and colors and all that stuff. So I would choose a white one. I would go 2 columns. You probably want to go flexible width, but you don't have to. You can just hit Find Themes then, and it'll just give you a list of a whole pile of themes you can use. Now again, you can go that route. I would really highly recommend that you get the Headway theme. But again, I'm aware that some people aren't going to want to spend that money, so you can go that route. You'll have to you can still follow along. It might be a little different than me using Headway theme, but again, you do have that option. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Install Themes. So now let's say you went to Headway, you purchased it, you downloaded the zip file. You simply go to Upload. You hit Choose File, and then you just simply choose that zip file. So again, you want to upload the zip file. You don't need to unzip it or anything. Just click that, hit open. We will hit install now. And then just simply hit activate. And now I'll quickly show you how easy Headway is to use. So we simply just jump in to their visual editor. And you can see it comes up with a very clean, easy to use theme. Now if you did, sometimes it'll start with a screen that asks you to choose what you want it to look like. You want the single column with a widget over here, and then of course you have your header and your navigation. So I'm just going to save that, and we can jump back to the admin dashboard. From there, that's the only things you really need to change. Headway has great SEO tools built into it. If you are going to use a free theme, the one thing I would recommend is that you go to plugins, go to add new, and you get the all-in-one SEO plugin. And that is right here, the all-in-one SEO pack. If you're going to use a free theme, I would recommend you install that because it'll help you with SEO. Most free themes won't have that built in, so you would just simply hit install now. I'm not going to do that because I'm using Headway, and again, I would highly recommend you use Headway as well. So now that we have those simple changes made, now what we need to do is go ahead and make our front page, our home page, kind of our money page. So I'm going to show you how to do that in the next video. Now in this video we're going to talk about getting backlinks to our sites. Of course we need to get backlinks in order to move up the search engines. Now one thing I do want to point out is the beauty of what we're doing here is we're targeting, if you did the keyword research right, we're targeting low competition terms. So we're not going to have to do a ton of really aggressive backlinking because again we're going against pretty small competition terms. So I'm going to give you some great backlink sources here. In most cases, in most of the sites I've built, this is enough to get you ranked. Now in some cases you will need to do more or continue to do it month after month, but these I'm going to show you here are a great place to go out and get your backlinks. So first off, the number one place to get started is with article submissions. So a couple of the top ones I always try to submit to are eZine articles, Go articles, and Articles Base. Articles Base actually no follows their links in most cases, and that is not something I worry about because when we're trying to optimize for the search engines, we want to look as natural as possible. So if you think about it, is it natural for a website to have 100% of its links be do follow? Absolutely not. So you want to, there's nothing wrong with getting no follow links. In my opinion, they do count, maybe not as much as a do follow link, but it's not something I avoid at all because it just looks natural. And if you're not familiar with do follow or no follow, then don't even worry about it. So I always make sure and submit an article to eZine, Go articles, and Articles Base. One thing I want to point out is I would submit unique content to each of these three. So submit a different article to each. And they're a great place to get your first links kind of out and going. Then we have second tier article directories, and there is literally hundreds and hundreds of them. So I'm not going to give a list. What I usually like to do is if you go to Fiverr.com and just do a search for article submission or something like that, there's plenty of services out there that will, or plenty of people on there that will submit your article to the second tier directories. Now a couple things to point out. When we do article submissions, of course, you get a little resource box where you can put a link back to your site. You want to make sure you're using an anchor text that is for the keyword you're trying to rank for, of course. But another thing is you want to vary that anchor text. You don't want to have 100 links and they all be the exact same anchor text. Again, that doesn't look natural. It looks like over optimization and it's not going to help you. So make sure you're always varying your anchor text. Just putting kind of related terms in there, any variations you found during your keyword research. So again, you do want to vary those. You don't want to keep using the same anchor text over and over and over. But again, to get started, I would submit an article to eZine articles, Go articles, and Articles Base. 3 different articles and different anchor text on all of those. And I usually, when you're first getting started, it's a good idea to do article submissions every single week. It's a great place to get links from. A benefit is a lot of these sites get a lot of traffic, so people will actually read your articles and then click over to your site. So you get traffic that way, and you get the SEO benefit. Then after you've done those, and you wait a little bit, then I would go ahead and start submitting some to the second tier directories. You don't want to do a gigantic blast because, again, we want to build links slowly over time. But again, Fiverr is a great place to start utilizing the second tier ones. And my list of eZine articles, Go articles, and articles base isn't a definitive list. It's just 3 I like to use. There's a lot of other what I would call tier 1 article directories, but they change so rapidly. I'm just going to list those 3 because those 3 have been good for quite some time. After that, another powerful tool to use is a tool called Unique Article Wizard. And what this basically does is you put in an article, and then you put in, we basically put in 3 variations of an article, and then they'll kind of mix up which paragraph they use. If you never use them, don't worry about it. They explain it all. But it works very, very good, and then they go out and then they kind of submit those articles to a bunch of different sites. And it's a great way to get a bunch of backlinks. Again, this is something I would do after you've done your tier 1 articles. Get some links flowing in and then start using Unique Article Wizard. And again, you want to use these slowly. You don't want to blast a ton of links right off the bat. But again, with Unique Article Wizard, vary your anchor text. It's also a good idea to not always use a keyword as your anchor text, so feel free to use your actual URL as the anchor text. Again, that just looks normal. Or even use words like click here, more information, or maybe like the official name of your site. You want to be varying that. Some people think if they're trying to optimize for a keyword and they use that keyword in every single link, it's going to help them rank faster. It's actually the opposite. You're going to actually do harm by not varying your anchor text. Again, you want to be doing that. With Unique Article Wizard, it's also a good idea to spin the article. And a great tool is the Best Spinner. I use the Best Spinner basically all the time to spin content. A couple pointers on that. They have an auto spin feature that will automatically spin your article. The problem is when the articles you get out sometimes aren't that high quality, and you really don't want to be submitting junk out there. Google's really cracking down on that kind of stuff. So what I like to do is I spin whole sentences. So you'll have a sentence, then just rewrite that entire sentence. It's a better way to spin because you get readable, good content. You don't end up with kind of unreadable junk. So again, Unique Article Wizard, start using that, and I of course spin those with the Best Spinner. Another great one to use is a press release. What you basically do is, you might think, well, my site, how do I write a press release for my site? Well, actually the sites we're creating work great because what you can do is, for example, I could write a press release about the site I was using and say, Best Sleeping Bags review, or bestsleepingbags.com releases its rankings of the top 3 sleeping bags. That's a newsworthy item. And you can go ahead and submit a press release for that. Now, press releases do have a format that you want to follow. Any service that you use will show you that. One that I like to use is a service called WebWire. What they'll do is you basically put in your press release, and then they will distribute it for you. It's a great way to get a lot of links and get kind of vary where you're getting anchor text, because it's going to show up on a lot of news sites, and a lot of other random sites will pick it up. Press releases are a great way to get backlinks back to your site, and they are completely natural. Every large company out there releases press releases. There's really nothing wrong with doing that. So it's a nice, safe way to get more links, and also to extend the places where they're coming from. And again, with press releases, same thing goes. Make sure you're varying your anchor text. Don't be afraid to use your actual URL as your anchor text, because again, it just looks natural. So with the press release, I like to use WebWire. There's a lot of services out there, like PR Web is the big dog, but it costs like $300 to submit one, and for this purpose, we just don't need that. So I would submit a press release, right after your site's done, kind of announce that it's launching and that you've released your rankings of the top 3 products, and then just write a little press release, submit it. It's a good place to get some links back to your site as well. Another great one are videos. We all know videos are rapidly taking over the web. So what you can do is, first off, I would create a video that just talks about the 3 products that you rated, 1, 2, and 3. Just go through those. You can make a little PowerPoint presentation like I'm doing here, and then just go ahead and submit it to YouTube. One key that you want to make sure you do is in the description field, you want your URL with the full URL, the HTTP, as the first thing you put in the description, because that is how people will be able to click and get back to your site. It's also going to get you a backlink as well. And from there forward, like I would do the video talking about your 3 top products or however many you did, I would do that right away. And then you can submit additional videos with each product you review. And it can basically just be you reading through the product review with some pictures, what have you. And again, putting your URL, and in those I would put the URL to that post for that exact product review. And then also make sure on your YouTube page you can put a link back to your site as well. We all know Google loves YouTube, they own them, so it's a great place to be getting links from as well. And lastly, there are directories. Now directories are just basically you submit your site to the directory, and the directory just lists sites on the web. These aren't, I wouldn't call these powerful at all. What they are great for is further diversifying where you're getting your links from. And when I use directories, I would almost always use my URL as the anchor text, because again, I hate to be redundant here, but we want to be varying our anchor text and making it look natural. So having links that point back to your site with just your URL as the actual anchor text, so the actual HTTP semicolon, it just looks natural, and it's good to have those to vary your anchor text. And directories are a great place to get those. Same thing with directories. An easy way to go out and use those are on Fiverr. Very easy to find somebody on there to do them for $5, and they'll submit them to directories. There's also tools out there, but nowadays with Fiverr, really the easiest to use. And that is all you need to be doing for backlinking. Again, we're targeting low competition keywords, so we don't need a ton of links. Again, kind of the battle plan, start with the top tier article directories, go ahead and submit an article to each of those. Then you can do some of the second tier ones. Give it a little time, let those get found so you have some links back to your site, make sure everything's indexed. And then I would also use Unique Article Wizard, submit an article with that. And then going forward, you can look to use them maybe on more of a monthly basis, kind of just monitor your rankings and see if you need more links going back. I would also do the press release right away, kind of announcing your top 3 products. Again, I like to use WebWire. And then videos you can always be doing. Those are never going to harm anything. And remember to be putting your URL in the description. And then lastly, the directories. Again, just a way to vary your anchor text and get a wider range of backlinks back to your site. So that is it for backlinks. Go ahead, start doing those. Again, I'm going to pound this point home. Make sure you vary your anchor text. We want it to look natural, and don't be afraid of getting do follow and no follow links. It's only going to look more natural. So that is your backlink battle plan. Go out and start getting some backlinks, monitor your rankings, then just keep following the process more and more until the rankings get onto that first page and up to the top of the rankings. So now we have our content up. Our site's pretty much ready to go, but there is some final tweaks we want to make to it. So let's jump over to our demo blog here. And the first thing we want to do is add, let me look at the exact site. We want to add some widgets over here. So that's the first thing we want to do. So to do that, we simply go to Appearance, Widgets. And what we want to add is our recent posts and also our categories. You just simply drag and drop them over. Now for our recent posts, I'm going to name mine Sleeping, if I can type, Sleeping Bag Reviews. And I'll just set this to 20. We want all of our reviews to show. So if you get to the point where you have more than 20, you can up that, but I'll put it as 20 for now. And then for categories, I'm going to put Sleeping Bag Brands, because all my categories are going to be the specific brands, and I will save that. And that's pretty much all you have to do for that. If I jump back over here and refresh, now we have our sleeping bag reviews, and we have the one review posted, and we have our sleeping bag brands, and that's posted over here as well. Now, one other thing with Headway is it puts a lot of little link to them down here and some other just kind of junk down there. So let's get rid of that. So to do that, we just simply go to Headway, and I'm going to go to the visual editor, and I will let that load up here, and I'll just leave that as it is. And now we want to go to manage, and if I scroll down to the bottom here, let me get rid of this over here. If we just hit this little options tab, this will pop up. So now I can get rid of the admin link. I can get rid of the go to top because I don't really need that. I'm going to choose to hide the Headway attribute. And we can also put a custom copyright. So for my custom copyright, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to post it down here into the custom. I'm going to get rid of the date because I don't want to have to change that every year. And then see how it says best sleeping bag reviews? I actually want that to be a link back to my homepage. So it's going to give us a little, a little internal link, a little SEO help. So I'm just going to put in the href tag, link to my homepage, and then close it out. And if we look at this now we have a link to our homepage. So I can just simply save that. And you can see it kind of got rid of, all that other junk that was down here. So if I go back and I refresh the page, and it is still showing for some reason. Let me try saving that again. And for some reason it doesn't want to, okay, I didn't click on you got to hit edit here. I didn't actually bring that page up to edit. So let's try that again. I'm going to click on this little options tab and just do the same thing. Save that. And I will refresh. And now you can see we have a nice clean footer with a link back to our site. So in case you didn't catch that, I didn't choose to actually edit the page. So now that is cleaned up. You can also choose to add a custom header up here. Instead of having just words, you can go have a header made. And to do that, you would simply go back to the visual editor, and now we would choose the options for the header. And you could just simply see header image, choose image. So I could just click that and add my own image for the header. Now a good place to get a header made, for cheap is over on Fiverr. Let me shrink this a tad. So if we just simply go into the search box and hit header, you can see there's going to be a ton of people who will design you a professional header for $5. So again, very cheap to do. It's not necessarily needed. It does make the site look a little nicer, a little more professional. So that is up to you if you want to do that. So now our site is all set and ready to go. You can see, especially with Headway, it's a very clean layout. There's not a lot distracting people because again, all we want them to do is read our reviews and click on our links. One other thing that I kind of noticed right now is our hyperlinks are the same color as the text. I usually like them to be blue. It makes them stand out a little more. If I just come over here and go to design, and then I'm going to edit the content here. So I click the little options tag, and I want to go to display. Nope. If I change that to editor here, I can go to content, and then I have body hyperlinks, and I can go ahead and change the color, which I'm going to do 0000FF, which is kind of the standard hyperlink color. And if I save that, you can see now it made my hyperlinks that nice blue color, which is what I was hoping for. So if we refresh that, you can see now we have our hyperlinks a nice blue, kind of makes them stand out a little more, makes people more likely to click them. One other thing I might want to clean up, I might want to get rid of when this was posted on, just because if you have this site up for a while, for me on a sleeping bag review site, reviews and sleeping bags really aren't this emerging technology where they're going to change rapidly. So chances are I'm never going to have to really edit these reviews, but I don't necessarily want people thinking the reviews are outdated. So it is a good idea. I could just get rid of all of this here. You'll also notice I have, if we scroll down, it says comments are closed. I don't really like to have comments on these just because if people start leaving random comments, it can kind of dilute the relevancy of your page if they're writing, even if they're writing their own reviews, it kind of throws off the content on your page. So I do have those turned off, but we might want to actually go ahead and get rid of, the posted on and posted by admin because we don't want them to seem outdated. So if I go back into my visual editor and I'll just go to manage, and again I want to edit this main content here, and if I go, let me scroll this over a little bit here. If I go to meta, I can see I have the meta above content. If I just click on that to edit it, I can just go in and delete that out, hit save again, and we can refresh the page, and now it's gone. So that's really all there is to it. It's pretty cleaned up now. We could also remove this sorry comments are closed, not really necessary. So again, we have our whole site pretty much done and ready to go. So again, now you just want to keep adding your content, and now we'll move into the next phase, which of course is starting to get backlinks for our site so we can start getting traffic and start making those commissions. Now in this module, we're going to talk about publishing your product reviews. So at this point, you should have either written your product reviews yourself or outsourced them like I showed you in the previous video, and they've come back and they're ready for you to publish. So if I go over to our demo site, to publish a product review, we simply want to add a post. So go to post, add new, and then I'm going to bring up the product review I had written. If I scroll this down here, so I'm going to take the title because that's our main keyword, and I'm going to post that in here, and I'm also going to add review to the end because it's a review. So again, we have the Coleman Green Valley Cool Weather Sleeping Bag Review, and that will be our title. Now I'm just going to grab all the content that they wrote for me and simply paste that in here. Now I'm going to clean it up a little. For features, I'm going to bold that just so it's a little easier to read. And then I'm also going to make all of these features a list, and I'm going to have that be a numbered list. So I just click on the little ordered list icon here, and you can see that just lists them out a little more cleanly. And then I have the pros. I'm also going to bold that, and I'm going to make these a bullet list. So I just click this little tab here, and then cons, I will bold that and also make that a list. And then what I'm going to do, because again we want our main keyword at the beginning and end of our content. At the end of the content, I'm just going to simply paste in Coleman Green Valley Cool Weather Sleeping Bag Review, and then I'm going to give it a rating. So let's say I say 4.5 out of 5. And I'm also going to bold that. So now we have our main keyword at the end of our content, and it is bold. Now what we want to do is edit our little headway search engine optimization. So I'm going to just copy the title again and put that as our title. Then I'm going to add a description. Let me do that real quick. Okay, so I just put the Coleman Green Valley Cool Weather Sleeping Bag is an excellent choice for the recreational camper. Come read our full review to see how well this sleeping bag rated. So again, I have that main keyword term in there, and then basically I'm just enticing them to come read our review by saying, come read our full review to see how well this sleeping bag rated. So if you're thinking about purchasing the sleeping bag, chances are you're going to want to come see how well it rated. And we don't have to mess with any of this stuff down here. One thing we do want to do is add some tags. So again, I'm going to put my main keyword in there, which is the Coleman Green Valley Cool Weather Sleeping Bag Review, which is a mouthful. And I am also going to put, I'll just shorten it because people might be not searching for that whole term. So I'm going to put the Coleman Green Valley Sleeping Bag Review, and also put Coleman Sleeping Bag Review as well. So again, I'll put just the well, this is kind of messing up here. Let me pull that back down, and then I will add those. So you can see, if I move this over so we can see it a little easier, for my tags I have the Coleman Green Valley Cool Weather Sleeping Bag Review, which is the whole entire long tail keyword, and then I shortened it to the Coleman Green Valley Sleeping Bag Review, and then also Coleman Sleeping Bag Review, just the main brand here. We also want to add a category, which I actually already did, but if you don't have a category added, you just hit add new category. And for categories, you want to, for my purposes here, I want those to be the brand names, because I'm going to be reviewing a bunch of different sleeping bags, so I'm going to bunch those by the brand. So I would just put, as you see I put Coleman Sleeping Bag Reviews. So any Coleman sleeping bag I review, I'll put that in this category. What this does now is it also gives us a page that can rank for just that main brand review. So I have a page now that can rank for the very long tail specific product, which is the Coleman Green Valley Cool Weather Sleeping Bag Review. But people also might just be searching for Coleman Sleeping Bag Reviews. So I'm going to name my category as that as well, so I can go ahead and rank for that category as well. The next thing, of course, you need to do is we need to add in our affiliate links. Now, since I already showed you how to do that in the previous video, you're going to follow the exact same format. What I like to do is under the main description, so right here, before we get to the features, again, I'll put the product image and then the product link. And then down at the bottom, after I give it a review, I'm going to put that full product affiliate link. So let me add those quick and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so I just added those in. So you can see if we scroll down here now, after the main description, we have the image and also the link, the text link. And then down here, it's not showing up in the editor. I have that full product link. So I'm going to go ahead and publish that. And then I can hit view post. We can see what that looks like. Just shrink it a little bit. So you can see now we have, our main keyword is in the title. We have our description. We have our affiliate links here. And we also have our product link down there. Now you'll see we need to add like some widgets and some other stuff. So in the next video we'll talk about, cleaning this up, little things we want to clean up. But what you want to do now is, of course, add your first product review. And then what you don't want to do is add them all right now. Again, Google likes to see a site that slowly and steadily continues to grow. So what we want to do is add one right now, then wait 2 to 3 days, add another, then wait 2 to 3 days and add another, and on and on and on. And you can keep doing that for as many products as you want to review. And again, our site's going to slowly grow as we add more reviews. So again, you want to add your first one today, and then you will slowly add them as we go. Alternatively, you can add them all right now, and instead of publishing them, you can, instead of publishing them right now, you can actually publish them in the future. So I could add another one. Let me just do that. I'll hit add new. And then where it says publish immediately, I can actually say, nope, I want this to publish in 2 days. So instead of the 25th, I'll put the 27th. And then when you hit publish, it won't actually show up on your site until that day. So you can go ahead and add them all now and just publish them in the future, pretty much schedule them. Or you can just, every couple days come in here and add another. So again, that's how you add in the product reviews. Pretty easy. Again, you want to make sure you're getting your affiliate links in there as well. And then in the next video, we'll clean this up, add some widgets, get rid of some of the stuff at the bottom, and just clean the site up a little bit.